Afternoon, everybody. It's me, Comic Crack. It's 10 after 2 here in our Central Standard Time Zone in Manitoba. A little bit something different today. Just thought I'd do a quick hangout for a new comic book day this week. Just because I didn't want to have to deal with the phone and uploading and all that kind of stuff. A really light week for me this week. There was 4 books that came out. I only picked up 3 of them, and then we picked up another one for Lily. So that's for Miss Lillian Shrek. This is number 4. So I guess last week's number 3, I think it was last week that we got number 3 for her, left an impression on her, because as soon as she saw this, it was the first thing she grabbed, went past everything else to go right to Shrek, which is pretty great. So yeah, we enjoyed the previous one. I think she got a big kick out of it. I felt it was a little, I wonder how much of it she understood. It was a little kind of disjointed, and there was a lot of like visual gags in it and stuff as far as they were putting an addition onto their house. So for example, one of them was they had the 3 little pigs come and each talk about an addition they'd put on the house, and they had the wolf that was with them, who was the tester. Afterwards, he'd huff and puff and blow it down and destroy it, basically. So there was a lot of like little kind of quick gags that I don't think she fully could follow, but she seemed to enjoy it nonetheless. I think, you know, part of it with these kind of things are just kind of seeing characters she recognizes and just seeing the funny pictures and that sort of thing. So that's good. So she likes that one. The first thing that I will show you from this week, Serenity. I'm a huge Firefly fan. Both my wife and myself love the series. It's one that I saw when it was televised, and then went to see the movie Serenity in the theaters. Was really sad when the show ended, because I really got into it. Really incredible, just a really incredible TV series. I thought it was fantastic. The characters were great. The way the actors interacted with each other was fantastic. So they had 2 covers. This was the one that I picked up. No Power in the Verse. I have one other Serenity or Firefly miniseries, and I think maybe a random issue or 2. I know that there's been multiple miniseries. I haven't read very many of them, but I figured we'd start to give this one a shot. I don't know how, part 1 of 6. So a 6-issue miniseries, which is perfect. A little bite-sized chunk of some Firefly. The interior art is kind of less than stellar, possibly. I mean, it doesn't blow me away. It's not horrible, but it's nothing incredible either. I'm hoping the story outweighs the visuals. Some of that's not bad. Some of the coloring there is pretty good. So yeah, Serenity. One that I was also really looking forward to was 7 to Eternity, issue number 2. They had a couple of different covers there, but this is the one that I wanted. It looked, I mean, as usual, it looks fantastic. I really enjoyed the first issue myself. I thought it was a lot of fun. There was some potential there for sure. The comic guy was talking to me about it, and he read it last night, he said. And he said it's one of those books that even if there wasn't words, it would still be my favorite book, just because it's so amazing to look at. So I'm excited to dig into this one as well. Yeah. I don't remember. I don't know. I think this might have been an ongoing, or I'm not sure if they had plans for it. Either way, even if it is an ongoing, I'll be sticking with this one. This is on my subscription as well. Actually, no, that one isn't in my subscription. And finally, last but certainly not least, the one that I think a lot of people have been looking forward to. It's The Vision, issue number 12, the very final issue of what's been an incredible, incredible book. I've really loved it. And again, I mean, I've said it to death, but books like this are thanks to the community. As far as this would never have been on my radar. I would have completely walked by it. I mean, I did completely walk by it because I didn't jump on till about issue 6, I think, 6 or 7. Just completely off of my radar. I never would have known that there was a story here or potential without the YouTube comic world here. So it's really thanks to them, because it's an amazing, amazing story. I'm really curious how this ends. It's one of those books that once I'm finished this final issue, I know that I'll sit and read the entire thing again, just to read it as one piece. But this is easily right up there with my top books of the year. This is hands down one of the best things that I've read. It makes me really curious about Tom King. Next will be his, what the heck is it called? The other book that Travis and them are always talking about. I'm completely blanking on the name, and I know you're all yelling at your computer telling me the name, but I'm completely blanking on it. Anyway, I've got it on a list. I know that they have the collections at the comic shop. I'll be digging into that for sure. Yeah, so much fun, this book. Such an amazing story. Such a great, I don't know, just a really unique place to take this character. Yeah, it's just something you don't expect, and then when you read it, it just completely makes sense. Really, really love it. The other book that I didn't get this week, they didn't actually have it at the comic shop. He didn't order any in. I'm gonna have to. He was mentioning to me that I should just let him know and special order it, because it's not something that they would normally carry. The Mobius Library came out today. Book number 1. And let me just go to my list here. Mobius Library, The World of Edina hardcover. So he didn't have it in, but he did find it for me, and he special ordered it. He tried to add it onto my pull list so it would just automatically get shipped to them when the next ones come out, but he wasn't able to. He's going to look into that for me. But in the meantime, he said, just remind me when the next one comes out a couple of weeks before, and I'll make sure that we get it in for you. So based on that knowledge, I picked up something that I don't normally pick up anymore. I used to pick it up a lot. I don't even know if I have. I think I probably threw them all out, to be honest, or recycled them rather. The previews, I picked up the new previews just so I can have a look through and see what is coming out, and if there's anything special that I'd like to pre-order. Especially when it comes to things like hardcovers or one-offs, that sort of thing. And I see Commandy on the front. I'd heard rumors about this. I hadn't really looked into it, so I guess it is true. They're going to do another Commandy series. And then, of course, the Marvel book inside and everything. So, yeah, that'll be fun to kind of look through. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to talk about, again, I don't want to go over everything that I said. I talked about it on the live chat last night. I don't want to kind of go through the whole story again. I'll make sure that when this video is uploaded that I include some links to the website where you can find out information. And it's Jeff Lemire and Gordon Downey from The Tragically Hip, The Secret Path. And this is something that I found today, making some phone calls. It's the deluxe edition, I guess. So it's the book and a record set. When I picked up copies of the book itself, it was like, wow, this would be perfect to have the record accompanying this, because they're the same size. It would really, I think it would really line up really nicely. While I was doing the show, Rez was in the chat, and Rez had mentioned that they had talked about that book previously on their show at the beginning of that day. English is not my top pick for languages right now, clearly. So I went back and I watched her video and watched that segment where they did talk about it. And The guy who was on there, who I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, just one of those days. Sheriff of Babylon, by the way, is the name of the other book. And was it JT was the guy's name, I think? Anyway, he was mentioning that there was a website that you could look at, that they had a deluxe edition out and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know about that. So I went and looked at the website, and they did talk about the vinyl / book edition. They were sold out. They're sold out on the website, and they suggested just checking your local record stores and bookstores to see if you could find a copy. So immediately I went to McNally Robinson, and I talked to them this morning, and unfortunately they have none left. They sold out pretty much immediately, and he was looking into ordering some more, and he would let me know in a few days. I don't think he's going to have any luck if the actual website itself is out of them. I don't know who their distributor is. Maybe they will find some more. Lo and behold, I called HMV, and they had about 9 copies at the HMV right by my house. So on the way home from school, picking up Lillian from school, we swung by and grabbed it. So what you get, it's a beautiful set. It was $49.99 Canadian. Which is fairly pricey, but again, totally worth it. And again, I don't want to go through the whole history of the book again. You can read about it on the link, or you can watch my video. It comes with a copy of the book itself, which is, I've already talked about, is a beautiful thing. It comes with, if you can see that in there, the digital download code to be able to download the whole album. And of course, Jeff Lemire's beautiful artwork inside there. Really amazing. Even looking on the Secret Paths website, the information just in talking about how he created the album and how they approached Jeff Lemire, and what Lemire thought immediately was that this is something I have to do. This is something that is incredible. They already had the album written. I believe they had some demo versions of it, I think, that they played for him, and based on that, they kind of started this process of creating this packaging. And again, a lot of respect for Gordon Downey. I may not be a huge Tragically Hip fan, but I tell you, I have a lot of respect for that man. Really amazing thing that he's done here, and I hope it has repercussions for a long time. It's something that everybody should have. So it comes with the book. It comes with a record. Really, really heavy duty. Inside, you get the usual just liner notes. And you get the record itself. Just black vinyl, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm excited to listen to it tonight. And the surprise for me was this. Let's see if I can get this thing undone. I knew that there was some artwork with it. I didn't realize it was like this. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. Trying to be as careful as possible, but I don't know if that's going to yield any results here. There we go. Come on, baby. So you get a whole bunch of individual pieces of art as well. And I don't know much about these, whether these were kind of preliminary drawings for the book, but then on the back of each of them, looks like there's some lyrics. Yeah. Oh, maybe actually it's lyrics, and it looks like it's his original notes too, going along for the songs themselves. I don't know how well that's coming out with the window and everything and the glare, but it looks like Gordon Downey's original notes and lyrics with different changes and structure, and then a Lemire piece of art on the other side, which look like they possibly all connect. Is that true? Yeah, well, there you go. looks like they all connect into one gigantic picture, which is pretty fantastic too. There's the back of that one, some more sketches and some more notes. Some more notes on the back there. I love this kind of thing. My favorite band in the world, US Maple, when they included lyrics with their stuff, it was a very similar feel to the writing. It was like these ideas that were still being filled out for their lyric sheets, which I always appreciated. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to lay these out and see what it looks like. And there you go. Really amazing. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I'm sort of speechless about this whole project. I was listening on CBC today, and they had an interview with a local band called Tribe Called Red about their new album, and it's they're an indigenous band, and they're just talking about growing up, how they didn't feel like they were represented in any sort of media. The one thing that they all kind of cited was seeing Buffy Sainte-Marie on Sesame Street and what that meant to them growing up. So I just thought it was a very interesting conversation about this representation. And they briefly did talk about Gordon Downey as well. They didn't talk too much about this project though, or at least they didn't talk about it when I was listening. They may have discussed it when I wasn't in the car, but I don't know, it just brings a lot of that stuff in perspective and almost kind of ties into what I was talking about yesterday, just that idea of representation. If you don't see yourself represented in the media, what that can mean to a child. So again, like, just a lot of respect for Gordon Downey. I'm really looking forward to digging into this. And I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm just not an enormous Tragically Hip fan. I never have been. I don't dislike their music, but it's not something that I would say has had a huge impact in my life. But I'm really finding that this whole project is really having an impact for me. It's a topic that I think is really great, that's been collected in such an amazing way and talked about in such an amazing way. Johnny Zero, how's it going, Jay-Z? First, you are indeed first. You're the second viewer. I hate to tell you, though, there's 2 viewers, so there's somebody else out there who may have been here before you. So I will make sure that I leave the link in the description once this video uploads. But I would suggest going to check it out. And again, I don't want to say this a million times, but I will say it a million times. If you are in the States or if you are overseas, you can get in touch with me if you can't find it, because I now have 2 books. One is already spoken for. The second one is probably spoken for already too, but I'd be more than glad to help you get a copy of the book. I don't know if I'll be able to get this record set much longer, the way it seems to be being snatched up in town, but I'll absolutely help you get the book and ship it out to you. So no, it's not me, actually. I don't have that window open. I've just extracted the chat box. So there's actually 2 individuals out there, a mystery guest who doesn't want to be named. Yeah, I'd love to help you grab it, get your hands on it. So let me know. I think that's about it, Jay-Z, just for you catching up. The Last Vision today. The Last Vision. The Last Vision. I'm really excited about it. And 7 to Eternity. And 1 of 6, Serenity. That's all I got today. Just those 3. It just wasn't a big day. I had a look on the shelves and there was nothing else that really piqued my interest as far as comics that were already out there. I mean, Black Hammer does pique my interest, but I don't want to now pick up 5 issues or whatever it's at. I'll wait until it's collected, I think. And plus, with the comic convention coming up and with buying this record set, I wanted to make sure I saved some money for that. So that's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. Thanks very much for tuning in, the two of you that did. Thanks a lot, Jay-Z. Always good to sort of see you, even if it's in words only. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good comic book day. And we'll talk to you soon. I'm going to sit and read the Vision right now and see what the hell happens in this last issue. Right on. Thanks, everybody. See you later.